All right, Chris, Hillary Clinton officially enters the race, making the rounds in the Scooby van. What do you make of her rollout so far?
Well, look, I think if you like her, you probably thought it was endearing and showed that she had learned her lesson from 2008 to be a little closer to folks, a little more accessible. If you don't like her, you thought it was kind of as phony as a $3 bill. In the end, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. It's a long campaign. She's virtually unopposed for the Democratic nomination. She's got some time to roll out her policies, her ideas of how to make life better for the average American, and that's going to matter a whole lot more than this stagecraft.
On the Republican side, Florida Senator Marco Rubio has entered the race, calling Hillary Clinton yesterday's news. Is he right?
Well, you know, we're going to see. I mean, that's obviously the card he has to play, and maybe it'll work. It worked in 2007 and 8 for Barack Obama. He's going to say she's the candidate of yesterday. He did say that, and that yesterday's over, and he is the future. Actually, I think that Obama's going to be a problem for Rubio, though, because it seems to me in 2008 that Obama was very successful in tapping into exactly what Americans were yearning for, which is, after all the bitterness and partisanship of Clintons and Bushes, you know, let's turn the page, a new face, a new name, a new family. A lot of people don't feel that the Obama years have been such a sterling success, and to that degree, new and different and young isn't necessarily as attractive as it was 8 years ago.
Marco Rubio has been very critical of President Obama's rapprochement with Cuba. The president argues, hey, what we've been doing hasn't worked, but you could also argue that Cuba's now going to start making some money, and that may prolong the communist regime there.
Well, those are exactly the arguments. On the one hand, you'd say we've tried isolation for half a century and it hasn't worked. On the other hand, critics like Rubio would say you gave up normalization of relations. You've given up all of the trade embargo. There'll still be parts of it, but not the full-fledged trade embargo we've had for a half century. And what did you get in return? In fact, political detentions are up, not down in Cuba. So I think to a certain degree we're going to have to just wait and see what happens in Havana, whether policies change, whether engagement works better than isolation. But clearly this president is determined to do that, and with the news this week that he's taking Cuba off the list of state sponsors of terror, it's full speed ahead.
Chris, I, for one, am very glad that the postal worker from Florida was not shot down over the Washington Mall. But I have to say, like most Americans, I am stunned that he could get that close to the Capitol building without being interfered with.
I couldn't agree more, and I think it's a grave concern. Look, it seems sort of cool now in retrospect, and Lord knows the kind of lawn chair with a little motor behind it that took him down the mall was kind of an ingenious toy. But look, this guy was trying to make a political statement. You could have had somebody in that kind of a contraption who had a serious weapon and was bent on terror. So I hope that we are able to take advantage of this moment and this tremendous security breach and close things up. I mean, they say that he flew under the radar literally. Well, boy, if there was ever a blueprint to a terrorist to commit a copycat attack, we have it now.
And I understand that security is going to be one focus of Fox News Sunday this weekend.
We're going to be talking to the head of the House Oversight Committee, Jason Chaffetz. We'll talk about that. And, you know, one of the jobs he has is to see which government agency isn't doing its job properly. You've got the Secret Service, you've got the FAA, you've got NORAD, you've got the Capitol Police. We'll talk to him about that. We're also going to talk 2016 politics with Lindsey Graham, the senator from South Carolina, who is thinking of running as a Republican, as a national security hawk. And then in a kind of odd couple, we're going to have the only self-proclaimed socialist senator, Bernie Sanders, independent of Vermont, who may run against Hillary Clinton from the left. So it'll be an interesting array of political opinions on Fox News Sunday.
We'll look forward to it. Be watching as always. Chris, thanks.
Russ, thank you.